What's up, guys? We are back here. LinkedIn Learning, uh, C Sharp coding challenge exercises. We just got done doing our party RSVPs. We still got a medium problem tip calculator. Um, for those of you guys who this is your first time watching one of my videos, I am the Kodiak Killer. Uh, I got a new article out on LinkedIn. Link to my LinkedIn is in my channel description. Go check it out. Um, I think you'll enjoy it. It gives you the history of my journey through learning about version control with Git and GitHub, along with the actual history, um, including things like who the founders were of GitHub. GitHub was founded in 2008. Git was founded in 2005, and ultimately why GitHub and Git became the main duo between version control and remote hosting services. So I think it's a good article. Go check it out if you're interested. If not, well, you'll probably make it through the day just fine. Um, but on to tip calculator. So we've all been at a restaurant where we're trying to figure out what kind of tip we want to give the waiter or waitress, and we try to calculate it in our heads, and it just doesn't go well. So we pull out our phones and do it. But obviously, nowadays there's an option to just click, which is a great user experience. So just click which tip you want to give on a screen, and it does it for you. That's phenomenal. So that's kind of what we're doing here. So we're creating we're going to return, we're going to write a function that returns three different tip percentages for a meal. So it returns all three values in a single variable. When Harrison said this, returning a list is the first thing that came to my mind. The function will take in a meal cost as an integer. I really feel like this should be a double, because when our meals straight up integers, not very often, unless you're at Jimmy Joe's Burger Shop and they only take cash only. Return all three list percentages as a single type. Like I said before, when Harrison said this, it screamed a list. So we'll have a list of doubles. So the tips for this challenge will be 10%, 17.5%, 25%. Each tip needs to be rounded to two decimal places, which would be the nearest penny. And then a side note that I said, this isn't in the problem, but I think it would be nice to not only return the tip percentage, but also return the total amount after a tip is added. So we are in our main method. Let's go ahead and in our program class, let's create a so let's think about this here. So let's go public list of doubles. It's returning a list of doubles called tip amount equals new list of tip amount. No, it's not what I want just yet. It takes in a double called meal cost. So we so let's go ahead and just define double, low tip. We'll say bad tip equals 10. Actually, we call it a decimal. Bad tip equals 0.10. Decimal, fair, tip, decimal, good tip, good tip equals 0.25 M. So, probably a better way to do this. We could probably create an array called tips of type decimal. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Equals tips equals new. 0.3. I'm all over the place here. Need to recalibrate. What's wrong with this? I see. Yes. And honestly, we can probably just go ahead and add. I really do need to work on my integer conversions. I need to like really hone in on that, to be honest with you guys. I'm actually gonna numeric types in C# and conversions. I'm not gonna do it here, but I'm just gonna set up a video for me to watch. Give me a reminder. I wonder if I can get by as doubles. No. And then up here on our main, we'll say, window height? No. Mm. We'll actually do this, and then we'll say, we'll call our tip amount tip calculator tip amount. Why isn't tip amount showing up? Equals console read line. I'll say static. Honestly, we don't even have to return a list. results to array. So we know we can return it like a string, a static string. But how do we uh, price? But how do we separate them? All right, I tip them out. So I'm fairly confident this. Uh, so this should give us all the tip amounts. We need to round. Um, how to round? Math.round. Math.round. All right. Now we want to, so we can do that by returning a string, but what if I want to return a list? to return a list variable in C# and return it to the console. Really? Oh, okay, I see. So we would have to iterate through the list. And that's what we're going to do. So public, we can use it. Man, that's what it is. Very interesting problem. can't I do this? I, tips of I. We're moving through an array for tip amount. Don't need this anymore. All right, let's see now. There we go. How much was your meal? But we want to take in console.readline or console.writeline. What we get from the console.readline. Tip amount. This has got to be console.readline. Readline. How does that not work? Ali. So annoying. How much was your meal? Tip amount. Put that in. Console.readline. Right. I guess we could just do this. Because it already is right leg. But how does that not work? Console. Oh. Okay, come on. How does that not work? I have the tip amount. Public static void tip amount. Fix it and double meal cost. This is a great time to implement exception handling. actually. Honestly, I just had to use the restroom. It's literally incredible what happens when you just like step away from the screen for a second. But um, yeah, forty-four, 44 was not in the correct format. Well, because we tried to double dot parse. Can I double dot parse? But we need to go add this. Then we need to say, um, I'm curious. I feel like what I did here is not best practice. Is it? If not, what are the implications? But we should get back what we want. Tip calculator. How much was your meal? 56, 55. Total equals meal cost times tip. One plus tip. New total. What does the tab do? That wasn't it. Anyhow, we're not going to fool around with this all day. Got what we needed. So that still needs to be rounded though. Math.round. For 2. That's not right either. What? Meal cost times 1 plus the tip. No, see, that's not right. Meal cost, we just need, okay, we already had tip. Meal cost plus tip. Ugh. All right, there we go. Gosh. All right, so now we did that. 2 decimal places, which would be the nearest penny. All right, so it's working, but I'm pretty sure it's not right. Because 99. Because if we come here, if I go on my phone here, we go to Apple's calculator. If I did, so if my meal was 99.99, 99.99 times 1.18, what would I get? 1.18, 117.99. See, it's wrong. The concept, the logic is there, but the conversions between the integers is not. Also, the logic is correct, but the numbers, I'm pretty sure, right? Let's check again. 99 times, wait, hold up. That's 17.5. Something's wrong. 99. 18% tip. First of all, something's going on right here. Tip amount times 100. Rounded by 2. That's what it should be. Yeah. It's better. Now what if we did 9999 again? Does that change anything? I don't think it does. No. We're still at 1749. Yeah, that's accurate. Because I'll go 9999. I was doing it by 8 last time. So what if we did 1.175? Now we get the right 49. Okay, so now we are getting the right answer. We just, on my phone, I was looking at the 18%, but that's actually what we need. Alright, so that's fine. But I'm worried about this not being best practice, potentially, especially while parsing the string to a double. Thoughts? Be very concise. Your approach generally works, but parsing user input without validation can lead to runtime errors. Here's a more robust and concise implementation with exception handling, which is what we need to do. And we're running out of time, but before I end this problem, I want to use the try catch in action because we don't have any exception handling currently. So if we run this, and we say, Jimmy, well, we're just gonna go back to the code and an exception is gonna be thrown. So we need to, one of the first times in my life, this is a perfect opportunity to implement some exception handling inside of the application. Your approach generally works, but parsing over user input without validation can lead to runtime errors, which we just experienced. Here's a more robust and concise implementation. How's your meal? If double.try parse, I'm assuming this returns true or false. Then output double meal cost. This will change tip amount meal cost. Else console.run, please enter a valid number in the format to blah blah blah. So we have this double tips for each tip, double tip math.round equals 2 console.writeLine. Alright, exception handling, you know what, we got 4 minutes here, so use the double.try parse to handle invalid input gracefully. So we do like a try catch? No. Let's use the let's use a try catch to handle exceptions, as I want to gain comfortability with that concept. Okay. Tip please, double.try parse. Tip please, catch format exception console.writeLine. Please enter a valid number in the form. Okay. So we say that, and we go try this. If we catch an exception, does it need to catch? If we catch an exception, X, format exception. There's all different types of exceptions that can be thrown. There's all different types of exceptions that need to be thrown. So as a .NET C# developer, it's important to be aware of these. The format exception, let's go. These include the format exception, but there are others depending on the scenario, right? Format exception, null reference exception, index out of range exception, invalid operation exception, argument exception, argument null exception, argument out of range exception. We can handle all these in a try catch, or really an if else. We could handle all of these in a try catch or if else, theoretically. Yeah, okay. So let's do that, format exception. And for the purposes of time, because we got about 16 seconds, let's see how this would work if we put Jimmy in there. Again, we'll write Jimmy. Go ahead and put that real quick. And then on the console, how much was your meal? We'll say Jimmy again. It says please enter a valid number. But we don't want that to be the end. We want to go through how much was your meal again. So we're out of time. Good video. We still have some more for this particular problem, but I'll be right back at it tomorrow. We'll learn some more about exception handling and everything in between. All right, I'm out of here for now, but the video doesn't really stop. So yeah, bye. Hello. I don't know. All right, so I just went back in and added some exception handling. Um, so the console application runs a little bit better now. So we go, how was your meal? So we go Jimmy, um, then it'll catch an exception and it'll keep running uh, because ultimately when it does run, we set what I set as a variable called valid input. I initially set it to false, but when we are able to parse, say, a double in the format like that, then it goes into the try and it's able to do that. And then we set the valid input to true. So next time, so the loop will not execute and thus it'll end. So I'll go ahead and show you guys. So we got Jimmy, how much was your real? So this goes, all right, so we created a tip please. We just went ahead and declared and initialized the tip please variable. Then we created a Boolean valid input, which would serve to differentiate between valid input and non-valid input. So then we created a while loop. So the program would keep running until a specific condition was met, and that condition would be valid input needed to be true. So we asked, how much was your meal? If we if the input that we give returns an error, then we come into the catch and we just wrote a little console message, please enter a valid meal price in the format of 0. But ultimately, so it's going to catch that exception, display this message, but valid input is still false. So while not false, which is true, we're going to keep running this until this right here works. We're able to parse whatever we have in the console.readline to a double and insert that into the tip please variable. And at that point, if that works, then we set valid input to true. So once we run the method and get back our tips, then this would be not once it's not once it's not true, which means false. So we end this program. And that is basically it. Just a little bit of exception handling. Starting to familiarize myself with exception handling. There's a bunch of different classes in .NET that help us out in exception handling. You have the exception class, argument exception, format exception. All these can be used to implement custom exception handling. So that is it for this LinkedIn Learning. Pretty good session. Am I even filming right now? What in the world is going on?